Yes, sir.
Which state?
Distinguished Alumnus for 2003.
I accept this award with a sense of unbounding pride and a deep sense of honor. And I will acknowledge when George Bucko notified me of his intent to submit my name for this recognition, I was truly confused. I explained to him that I personally did not feel that I was worthy, but George is George. George is persistent. When President Gatner called me earlier this year to notify me of my selection, I was truly overwhelmed. Thank you, George. Then came the daunting task, preparing comments to give tonight. I knew that I would be addressing many of my closest friends and even more strangers. But as I recollected and reflected about the time I spent on this campus, my apprehension lessened because I realized I would be speaking before a room full of individuals who all have one common bond. Heck, we're all Bearcats. Of course, receiving awards such as this makes one have to recollect on the time spent here and the progression that has occurred from that springboard. I'm somewhat of a pack rat. I still have all the copies of my alcaldes from my school years. I peruse them in reflection of pieces of time from the past. And as I did, it was as if I were still here. I opened the 1960 edition, and 5 pages into the book was a group picture of a room full of freshman students. And dead in the center of that picture, looking back at me, was Jan Gustafson. Tonight, Jan and his lovely wife, Nancy, have joined me. Jan was my pledge brother in the Caballero Men's Fraternity and the fellow Sigma Chi. I double dated with Jan and Nancy on their very first date. Jan has been the epitome of a gentleman, a friend, and a role model for any man to emulate. Thank you, Jan and Nancy, for doing that. Anyway, as I looked at those yearbooks, it brought back a flood of memories. From my days in the ROTC band, the Loman Rifles, the Society of Scabbard and Blade, and my year as ROTC Corps Commander of the second largest ROTC cadet corps in the state of Texas. The Chemistry Club, my various jobs on campus, from cleaning the student union, to running the fraternity laundry and the fraternity dining service, to working as a chemistry lab instructor, the plays, the parties, the evenings on the side of Old Main Hill, seeing our unofficial mascot, Tripod, the 3-legged Don Juan of College Hill on the way to class. And most of all, my association with the Caballero Men's Fraternity and subsequently the Sigma Chi Fraternity. More on that in just a moment. I thought I would focus my comments on tradition, pride, loyalty, and obligation. And when I thought about tradition, I recalled the words spoken in the fall of 1959 in the gymnasium during a welcome speech to the incoming freshman class. Quote, "No one likes to get up in the morning and climb a hill. Speak to anyone you meet and wish them good morning," unquote. Words spoken by Dr. Harmon Loman, who served this university as the president from 1941 to 1964. And Dr. Loman went on to say, "Although we have more than 4,000 students on our campus, I am very proud of the fact that a friendly atmosphere prevails among the students and faculty members. Students living and working together in dormitories, sororities, and fraternities develop close ties, which will remain forever. We are in truth one great family." And so it began. With 4,006 students, I was one of 1,767 freshmen entering Sam Houston in 1959. And little did I know the impact the next few short years at Sam Houston would have on my life. My parents instilled in me a deep sense of personal values. My religious upbringing instilled a deep sense of moral values and an appreciation of traditions. And this institution provided me the opportunity for education. But more importantly, it was here, on this campus, on these grounds, and in the Huntsville community, that my personal growth, self-confidence, and development of interpersonal skills blossomed. And we have so much to be proud about Sam Houston. This institution, created by the Texas State Legislature in 1879, named after Texas' greatest hero, General Sam Houston, as Sam Houston Normal Institute, had the purpose of training teachers for public schools in Texas. It started with 110 students and 5 instructors. And this year, there are over 13,000 enrolled students. Sam Houston State University is the oldest teacher training institution in the Southwest. We have nationally recognized programs in arts, science, business, and criminal justice. We should indeed be proud. And next April, we will be more proud as we celebrate our 125th birthday. I actually came to Sam Houston because of my cousin Al Lopez, who honors me with his presence tonight. I was pretty much a shy, inhibited person in my elementary and high school years. My cousin Al was my role model. He was my Fonzie. Al was 1 year ahead of me, and I had been granted a scholarship to St. Thomas University in Houston and planned to accept it. But during the very late summer of 1959, he and I were discussing college with his boss back at Fred F. Hunter's Printers in Galveston, Texas, where he worked. Al stated he was going back to Sam Houston, and he went to such a description of his first year there that when his boss asked me what I was going to do, I blurted out, "I'm going to Sam Houston." A pivotal point in my life, a decision that I have never regretted, and I have always been proud of my alma mater. Loyalty, that brings me to my fraternal experience. I'd like to share a motto that some of the members in this room have heard before. Forsooth, brothers, fellowship is heaven, and lack of fellowship is hell. Fellowship is life, and lack of fellowship is death. And the deed that you do upon the earth, it is for